Okay, so I bet a lot of you are itching to know of what I thought of Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. And you know what? Most part, I enjoyed it. There are parts of it that was really zoned out of my seat, and I wouldn't really say it's a fun movie that you can take your kids to. I mean, it's dark. This movie does things that I never thought that DC would ever do. And I don't think Marvel has the guts to do what DC did. So so basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk about the characters, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Lex. And then I'm gonna move into spoilers, and then I'll talk some other things that I loved about the movie, things I hated about the movie, and and at the end of the video, I'll give this movie a rating. Like, what rating will I give this? So, the whole reason Batman doesn't like Superman was clearly explained, and I had no issues with it. So basically, if you guys watch Man of Steel, where during those odds, Kryptonian ships were destroying Metropolis, Bruce Wayne was actually there during the destruction, and millions of people died, like, in the city. And he thought Superman caused that destruction, and he was prepared for the fight. Everyone thought that the suit was a kryptonite suit. It wasn't. That suit was basically, when you use kryptonite at soups, he would punch and it wouldn't do anything because, Bounce gotta be bulletproof at somehow. But anyways, I'll talk about it a little later. So one of the reasons I want to see this movie, not just because we finally get to see our heroes fight, but also, I got to see Ben Affleck as Batman, which he's pretty cool. And one of the reasons I want to see him as Batman because the combat, how he deals with crime fighting, his allies, his relationship with Alfred, and not only is he brilliant detective, and DC does all of it justice style. See what I did there? Except for one thing I did not like what they did with Batman, which I'll talk about a little later. But when Metropolis was half destroyed, him and Lex Luthor were working together to rebuild Metropolis. Now, he doesn't really like Lex, but he does want him to help him out. It'll be similar to, like, if the Kryptonian ships destroyed how Gotham City. And by the way, I did not like how Metropolis and Gotham were close together. That really annoyed me a lot. But, speaking of Lex, Jess Eiber as Lex Luthor is just a weird, boring psychopath. He just didn't feel like a Lex Luthor to me. He felt like more of a Riddler. Oh, Batman, riddle me this. What's green and black and red or over? Or something like that. The only difference is he doesn't do riddles. And that bothers me a lot. And I did not like his portrayal in this. But, it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure we're going to see him in a solo Superman film or in a Justice League or film or in future DC films. But other than that, I did not like this Lex Luthor. I thought my favorite Lex Luthor, I'm not a Superman fan, but I liked him in the old Superman movies. That one was a great Lex Luthor. This one, it was weird. But one of the characters I really liked is Diana Prince, Wonder Woman. She was really interesting, but one of the things I was a little confused by, I don't remember her being an immortal. I'm not a big Wonder Woman fan. I have read some comics. The only comic I read was what was that one with gosh, what was that one comic called? It was where I think it was the origin of Wonder Woman or something like that with Ares or something like that. I can't even remember. But yeah, she was really interesting. I loved her in the final battle between Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Doomsday. Oh, and speaking of Doomsday, as you know, Jorno Zod becomes Doomsday. I mean, how he was created was very Dr. Frankenstein, but it still worked. You know, like Lex Luthor said, he's crazy, he's dangerous, he's chaos of destruction, and it was really gross and disgusting seeing those bone things come out, but it was really cool. Because when me and my family went to see it when it came out, I'm like, that doesn't look like Doomsday. But when the bones were coming out, I'm like, okay, that is Doomsday right there. Like, because, it was really interesting to find Doomsday for the very first time. So, yeah. Okay, let's talk about Superman. Superman, I really liked him in this movie. I liked him better than in Man of Steel. Is this, he didn't really have a lot of hope, and he didn't have a lot of dialogue, in my opinion. So, because he didn't want to use his powers because he thought people in the world would be afraid of him. And he thought Fine Journal Zod, would make people happy. You have to realize the destruction of Metropolis did wipe out half the city. So the city hasn't really healed. People just keep pointing fingers out because they're like, oh my gosh, he did this, he did that, he did blah blah blah, and and he doesn't understand why people don't like him. And the only reason and speaking of this, the reason Superman doesn't like Batman because Batman, it's hard to explain without spoiling anything, but I'll talk about it a little later. But yeah, he was really interesting in this movie. He had because there are times in the movie where you feel like he's gonna hang up the cape, and that's one of the reasons I like Batman better than Superman because Batman never gives up, no matter what stands in his way. After someone dies or whatever, he never gives up, no matter what. Superman, no, like if Brainiac or somebody killed Lois, he would give up. He would just be gone. Except for what Nolan did in Batman Dark Knight Rises, which was completely out of character. Ugh. All right, let's go into spoilers now. I feel like I have the need to talk. Oh wait, I forgot one more thing. Lois Lane, she was alright. She was a little boring at times because I feel like the half of the movie was just that one bullet they're trying to find, like in the desert, which I was like, okay, we get it. And then one thing I forgot to mention also is the Wayne murders, sorry, again. Okay, let's go into spoilers now. So, one of the things I did not like what they did with Batman is that Batman indirectly kills people. Indirectly. Zack Snyder, I don't hate him as a director. It's just he's not a very good storyteller. I think he did better in Justice League and Man of Steel better than this film. Unless you go see the Ultimate Edition. And it doesn't even matter you see the Ultimate Edition or the regular version you saw in theaters. It's the same story. The only difference is the first one, there were a lot of scenes cut out from the main film. This one, the story is much, much longer. And I don't mind, but it's the same story. I don't really hate the story, but it's the same story. Like, Batman still kills. It still doesn't explain why he kills. It could be because of Jason Todd or what happened to Metropolis. So, I don't know. But, like,